If you look out here, you see a field with flowers and small bush and small trees and big trees. They're all consisting of small elements. And if you take them off and put them up on the table, it's a number of elements. Together they make this. And in architecture, you have floor, your walls, you have windows, doors, and you have a lot of materials. So when you select them, you must have in mind that they should make a whole or an expression of some kind.
Utzon formulated an architectural theory based on the notion that structures could be built up from small elemental forms which could be mass-produced and from which whole buildings could then be constructed. He called this theory additive architecture.
It was designed as a simple idea, then every detail. You have seen the pictures of the elements. If you go there, you see this picture behind me. There are many elements, but they all respect the spherical solution. Inside you have this fan. It's like a leaf on a palm tree, and it is become a marvelous structural expression, like we had in the Gothic ages, where your columns and the arches are made by elements on ground in stone and put together, and they are shown, and they go up in groups of ribs, and that's the architecture. So it was not difficult to see that we could get that from a structure instead of getting the shells that were made at the same time, just plaster with no expression.
All of the elements in Utzon's opera house are interconnected. The final solution for the shells depended in part on the interiors. For example, the stage tower in the major hall required a higher profile than originally envisaged, and therefore the low, streamlined look had to be changed. The cladding for the shells and the choice of square...
It tells a story. It is not a calm building. It's awake all the time with the light. You cannot make a sculpture better in something that's white or off-white. If you look at the bronze sculptures in nature, they're difficult to read. So this supports the shells. If you had put copper roof on this house, you wouldn't have benefited from the light. You have seen a green, marvelous color. So this was my first and only idea for the roof. And Saarinen said to me, keep it white. Sydney Harbour is dark. The buildings are dark. At that time, red buildings. So it's the right answer.
A remarkable amount of opposition manifested itself against a series of great vaults for the Sydney Opera House. It is not usual for a series of 10 vaults that rise one behind the other up to 60 meters. The most widespread objection is that these shells are both arbitrary and superfluous, if one recognizes only the functional in architecture. This objection gives rise to a basic question. A question which our period must again answer and decide. Are we prepared to go beyond the purely functional and tangible as earlier periods did in order to enhance the force of expression?